Hello, welcome to the Courageous Self-Care podcast. I'm your host, Christina Marlette. On this show, I love to talk about self-care that is strategic. So it's not just this vague idea that you might get to someday when you're not so busy and you're not taking care of so many people. It is self-care that you can implement multiple times every day in a bunch of different ways, and you'll notice that it gives you more energy. It gives you better relationships. It gives you more vitality and aliveness. That is the kind of self-care that I am excited about and passionate about. And I've developed a whole system on how you can implement the skills that go along with courageous self-care into your life. And so courageous self-care, it needs, if you're not feeling successful with your self-care, if it's not doing for you what you want it to do, you need a guide. And so I applaud you for being here because I love to be that guide for you. It just fills me up to share information with you and help you improve your life. And today we have another guide. So I love to do interviews on the show. And today we have Bernadette Bruckner coming all the way from Austria. So we're uniting Canada and Europe today in the podcast. Bernadette, welcome to the show.
Yes, welcome from Austria. It's just beautiful to be here in the podcast and just exchange experience and all. It's all about self-care and really take care for yourself. And I think it doesn't matter where you are in the world. It's always about ourselves first. And when we nurture ourselves, we can nurture other one as well.
Oh, totally. I completely agree. So Bernadette, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you love to do.
Mm-hmm. I'm coming from a bakery. So I actually nurture people with bread since I'm a child, because food is also very nurturing. And I'm coming from the countryside, and for me it was like I'm a person who loves to find solutions. And I was a workaholic. I'm pretty sure I'm still today. And it was like for me, since I was a child, I nurtured everybody else. I always was like when I was in a bakery and we also had a cafe, I was sitting there and listening to everybody else, and I always wanted to take away their pain and all their stories. But I totally forgot to take care for myself. And for me, I would always like a belief system and values and everything else that first nurture everybody else. And then maybe you become then you afterwards. And after 3 burnouts, highly suicide, I thought, I think it's a good idea to change something.
Yes.
And I had my worst time because I always was working abroad. And my worst time I had in France when I was really highly suicide. And I was like, so it's not time. And I always say that I'm still alive today. It's like probably more somewhere out there thought it's a good idea to stay alive. If you believe in angels or whatever, it doesn't matter. And then I began to find myself solutions. So I began different educations, further education and all the things. And I started with NLP and all the stuff. And then I began, before I pay a therapist, I create myself my own ways. So I put all my money, not in therapists, but I put all my money in myself. Mm-hmm. So I began to take myself and care for myself through education. And today I created my own coaching and therapy style and my own nutrition style, because I was overweight and fell through everything else into anorexia nervosa. And as I said already, I found myself solutions. So I created my own nutrition work. And today I really take care of myself, also for my body, for my nutrition. I changed my whole diet. I changed my whole life. I kicked out people who was not good for me. And I created myself a world which is very nurturing. And I always said I'm blessed that I'm still alive. So I nurture today a lot of other people, but first nurture myself. And I have a credo. I always say it's like, be simply me. Mm. If it feels good for myself, is it coming from the heart, then it's good for me, then I will go on. And it doesn't matter at all And I have one, be simply me, no matter what, and nothing else matters. And for me, it's like when I take care of myself and my body, especially my body, and listen to my body, because my core topics are so easygoing. I have 3 core basic methods, and I actually teach people that they begin to listen themselves again, because we grew up that we actually should listen to everybody else, and just stop not listen to ourselves, because as child we actually listen to ourselves, but everybody else tells us something different. And what I teach the most, and also begin now nurturing children, is that we begin to listen ourselves first, and to our body. So I call my method actually body intelligence, and that it always, and it's like intuition. Does it feel right for me? Does it feel good for me? Is it a good feeling? Is it a light feeling when I do this, when I do that, and also all the decisions what you do, and not only with food, but also with every single decision what you're taking. And some people wanted to push me in a way where I never wanted to go. So today I began, how should I say, it's like I got stubborn. I think that's the right word. When it feels good for me, I really stay on my focus, on my way. Be very stubborn for it. I fight for my way. I fight for my decisions, because that's for me a courageous self-caring.
Yes. Even
if other people are not very pleased with it, even it's a family member, even if it's a person you love dearly, and a lot of women, it's like, I just love this person so much, so I go this way for this person, and forgot ourselves totally. And especially mothers, I have a lot of mothers as clients, but this is a huge topic. And I always say, no. First, you have to take care for yourself, be aligned with yourself, be aligned with what you wanted to do, and you are the best role model ever for your future children. For your children and for their future, and also for your future.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. It feels so good to set an example of what you want your children to behave like when they grow up. And if they see a mother who's always sacrificing herself and doing everything for everyone else, no mother wants their children to grow up to be that kind of person. So I think it gives really good perspective on why it's so important to take care of ourselves. We're setting an example, plus we benefit from having so much more energy and vitality.
Exactly that. And because that's in Austria, I don't know if it's in Canada, but like a huge challenge, but in Austria it was like a lot of women didn't fulfill their dreams.
Yes.
So they put all their efforts on the children, that they fulfill their dreams actually from their parents, and the children don't wanna, and they just, go away and begin to fight and all the things. And I'm like, no. What's your biggest dreams as child? What you never had the chance back then to fulfill yourself, for what reason whatsoever. Because my mother, for example, she comes from she's a war child. And they didn't have any chance to fulfill the dreams back then, but she begins now more and more to fulfill hers, what she always wanted to do. And I support her as much as possible, because in my opinion, it's just that's why we are here. That's why we are here. We should enjoy actually our life here on earth. But a lot of people, when I look at them, they're like zombies.
Yes.
And I always ask them, because I also did many years of terminal health care for people who are dying. And most of them, they didn't have any chance to fulfill their dreams. And I'm like, no, life is so precious. Life is so wonderful. Just fulfill your dreams. To me, I had 4 years ago a very bad car accident, and I didn't have any injuries. And I was like, this was given me the second, the third, the fourth chance or whatsoever to finally go my way. The first thing what I did was like, I made a bucket list. I made a bucket list even from stuff what I never could fulfill as teeny. So I did a lot of stuff what other people do actually in their teenies, but I didn't have any chance because I worked too much and had to work in bakery and all the things. And I fulfilled them. And it was like, a lot of people would say that's not grown up because it's so stupid and so childish. I'm like, yes, that's why I'm doing it. Because my heart makes it singing. And my inner child, I do a lot of inner child healing with my clients, probably you too.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a lot of people who couldn't express themselves, all their dreams when they had a child. So I had I think he was over 60, and he bought himself a teddy bear when I did with him in a child, because he didn't got any teddy bear as child. And I was, yes, that's the best investment ever.
Yes. Oh, that's so sweet. Well, you're talking about so much powerful stuff, Bernadette, and I'd love to find out if you could share with us what's something that you love to do for self-care these days.
I do at least once a week ask my inner child, what do I want to do today? And for me, it's like I lived in Vienna. And in Vienna, because now I'm at the countryside, I don't have so much. But in Vienna, we have an extremely, really good ice cream store.
Yes.
And I had a time when I began with a lot of inner child that I went daily to this ice cream store because they have vegan ice.
Oh, yes.
And I didn't bought not one scoop. I bought the real one. You know? At least I think it was like the real one is with 4 or 5 scoops in a really big cone. And I went out there and I was like a little child getting the best stuff ever. And I was in the middle of the city in Vienna. And I only was smiling and eating my ice cream. And I was like, oh. and also there's one thing in Vienna. It's the Prater. It's a very famous sightseeing. Mm-hmm. It's like a playground, it's like where you do funny stuff. And they have like, I don't know how it's called. It's like when you go around with the circles.
A merry-go-round?
Yes, yeah. But this merry-go-round is not on the ground, but it's going up like, I think, more than 30 meters.
Okay, yes.
And I'm afraid of heights.
Yeah.
But when I do with my inner child, we go up there. And we enjoy it totally. And for me, it's like with every single person I show this method with the inner child, talking with the inner child and what's nurturing for them, they blossom up.
Yeah.
Their eyes begin to glow again. Because we believe as grown up, we have to be serious, we have to do this, we have to earn money, we have to have a career, and everybody's cutting out their inner child. And that's why they're coming to me. And I'm like, yes, I know what you're talking about. I had it before.
Yeah.
Because I was totally career driven and let's go further and go on. And after 3 burns, you're like, yeah, was not the right way, but it was an interesting way. It was not the right one. And for them, like everybody's blossom up. And it's interesting because I have clients they're like CEOs, and they begin to blossom up and they begin to become very creative.
Yes.
They change it's not about not for giving up their career. It's about to have a different perspective mm-hmm. about life, about work-life balance, what's important in life. You still can go on with your career, but you have way much more fun with it.
I totally agree. I used to be really serious too. I took school very seriously and it was all about getting top marks, and I played sports and it was about being the best and winning. And as an adult, just the serious career. And I was just writing about this in the book that I'm working on. And I did a lot of personal development, and I did this one course in particular where people would whisper in your ear as you walked down a line of people. They would whisper in your ear what they saw that you might not see yourself about you. And people would whisper to me, "You're so much fun. You're fairy energy. You're so light and playful." And I thought, who are they talking to? I'm serious. I get stuff done. And recently, my inner child has been so happy because I have been, just like you, asking, what is it that really is fun? How can I bring more joy into this day, into this activity? and that inner child is so happy. And as a result, I'm so happy. It makes such a huge difference. So thank you for sharing that practice. It's so powerful. We're going to move into your story of courage right after the commercial break. So we're going to pause here for a quick break, and then we'll be right back with Bernadette's story of courage.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Thank you for being here. And I know I'm looking forward to hearing Bernadette's story of courage. It's a fantastic part of the interviews that I do. So just before you share it, Bernadette, I want to explain why I love getting these stories of courage out into the world. And it's because courage is, as Brene Brown says, courage is contagious. And when we hear other people's stories of courage, either we think, oh, I've done that. I didn't think that was so courageous, but maybe I am a courageous person. Or it gives us ideas of, oh, I'm in a situation similar to that. I never thought of going about it that way. Maybe I could do that too. So I think that courage is such an important skill, and it's a virtue, but we can definitely, everyone's born with a certain amount of it, but we can definitely grow how much courage we have. And we only get in life what we are capable of overcoming or handling or moving through. And so I just feel like courage is such an important skill and virtue to have, and we can definitely grow it. So with that, we would love to hear your story of courage.
When you were talking about, I was thinking which one.
Yes.
And because, I'm in horoscope, I'm a Leo. In the Chinese horoscope, I'm a fire dragon. So courage is like in my sign.
Yes.
So as child, I was like, that's normal. Courage is just normal. I was like in the middle. I did everything, and I said everybody what to do. Even as child, I'm serious. I was really like with a big mouth and all the things. When I was I was working in an international company. Because the international sales manager bought like bread in our bakery, and he asked me one day, I think I was 20 or something like that, do you want to work for me? Because I need someone in France to build up the international sales. And Dragon and Leo, yes, of course. Yeah. I had no idea what was coming up because this was high stress. This was like either you sink or you swim. I got trained within weeks, all the information what other people like learn in a year. And then I was in Lyon in France. And they broke me. They broke me mentally. They broke me totally. So with my big mouth, I actually swam. So I really swam totally. But they broke me inside. I lost in this company within a year more than 20 kilos.
Wow.
I was highly suicide at the end. And the interesting part was, and I still remember, and this was I wanna give for everybody. I remember because I wanted to kill myself, cut off the pulse, I think it's the English word. Mm-hmm. And I actually knew how to do it. And I was in France. And before I wanted to do it, I said, I can't do that because of my mom. I wish myself lying there. And I only said, I can't do that because it would break like my mom's heart. That was actually the only reason why I didn't. And I actually asked and demanded the universe, or however you want to call it, the angel, on whatever you believe. And I said to myself that because inside I felt this depression is not mine. This is not me. This is not my original me. I was there, I was close to do it, and I was like, I can't do it because of my mom. And I feel this is not me. Because I'm actually a happy person, I'm a very strong person, and I'm a very courageous person. So something is wrong here. And that was actually the main reason why I didn't do it. When I came back home to Austria, I never forget the face of the doctor, because he was totally shocked. because when I went, I was 20 kilos more.
Yes.
Loud. When I came back home, I was not loud anymore. I was 20 kilos less. And, but I never went to any psychologist or anything else. I began to read books. I cried a lot. And I began to look for help, to look for education. But I never wanted to take any medication. Mm-hmm. Later on, I knew why, but I still began to listen to myself, what's right for me. So I still always listen to myself. And today I know that was the actually reason why I survived. Mm-hmm. And for me, creating resilience tools was actually because of finding myself help, what I couldn't find out there. Mm. And there's only one thing what I always wanted to give to every single person. Be simply you, no matter what, and nothing else matters, and listen to yourself, even when your surrounding tells you something else. So I learned to let go. Mm-hmm. This is actually one of the most important learnings in my life, to let go of people who are not nurturing, mm-hmm. to let go of situations who are not nurturing, to let go of jobs who are not nurturing. Because I was highly paid back then. I was in my age, I was on a position which is not normal to get on this age on such a position. Because there's one thing what I learned a lot that was working, but it didn't make me happy. Mm-hmm. It made me ill. And no money on this earth can pay me so much to have a job again where I get ill. There's one thing what I learned a lot, that it's not only courageous self-caring, but courageous self-loving.
Yes.
Pure, unconditional loving, no matter who I am, no matter the way I look. Because when I was overweight, a lot of people told me that I look ugly. And that's actually really, changes your whole, self-identity. Mm-hmm. When I began to find out that it's never about me, but it's only a perception of themselves, what's actually inside of themselves.
Yes.
That's why I have a campaign what I start this year, which I call Inside Out, Beauty Inside Out. Because beautiness begins from inside. Absolutely. And she's outside in a way, much different way. Mm-hmm. And wow. As you see, it's a passion topic.
Yes. Yeah, I can tell you're really excited about all of it, and I feel so honored to have you share this story of courage with us, multiple stories of courage. You've come through so much. You've had a really rich life in terms of experience and highs and lows, and I think you're a wonderful example of moving through the darkest time and coming into who you were meant to be by being courageous. And I love how you talked both about honoring who you are and doing things regardless of what people think about you, because it's just your own business, and also finding help, whether that's from books, from people, from new ideas. It's this perfect blend of coming out of darkness. We have to honor who we are and be secure in ourselves, and at the same time we need to do something different from how we've done it before that's gotten us to that place. And so your story is a very clear illustration of that, and I'm grateful to you for sharing it. I'm sure people are going to want to learn more about you. So where can they find you online, Bernadette?
I'm in the middle. I got not so courageous to become, making my own company. And my website is actually my name. It's written together. It's BernadetteBruckner.com. Please, let's go out there in whatever dimension, but let's make changes. Mm-hmm. Because it's so early and it's so beautiful. And I love that you have your podcast and all the things, and just rock on. Not only in Canada, but worldwide.
Yes, yeah, our global vision of, I just imagine a world where women and men, but women are the ones who tend to take action first, women who do see themselves as important and valued and worthwhile and do follow the path regardless of what other people think, and are setting the example on how we can do that. We can love ourselves and we can love others, and it can all work out so beautifully.
Oh,
so,
yes.
Thank you very much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. The show airs usually once or twice a week, so do come back. We do a teaching episode and an interview episode, usually most weeks. Lots of great information from all sorts of people around the world and from the research and work that I put into courageous self-care over the last few years too. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I honor you, I appreciate you, and I look forward to connecting with you again next time. Bye-bye for now.